Welcome to the Red Half of Sheffield preview pod. This is number 3. We're rolling right through these bad boys. 35 more of these to go. Today I am joined by Joey from the Noisy Neighbors podcast to preview next Sunday. It's Sunday, right? Sunday,
Yeah.
9 a.m. Eastern time kickoff, which is 2 p.m. BST. Our fixture against the champions of the whole entire world, Man City, and
Well,
it's
not yet.
well, yeah,
We still got to win that.
yes, that's true. Club World Cup to be decided at a later date this upcoming season. But yes, preview our upcoming match against Man City. Joey, how are you on this Sunday morning?
I'm doing all right. Just shaking the cobwebs.
Yeah.
We had a late match yesterday, so that kind of meant all bets were off once everyone got to the pub for our supporters group.
Yeah.
So yeah, just shaking the cobwebs off, chilling. Happy to be here though. This is always fun.
Yeah. Let's get right into it. I guess we can start with yesterday's 1-0 victory over Newcastle. I'm not one for listening to all the pregame hype and build up, but it basically seemed like with City being champions of Europe and England and in all of that, they were almost wanting to back Newcastle to win that game, and you guys come out 1-0 victors. Sum it up. How did it go for those that didn't watch?
It was all right. It definitely wasn't anything special. First half we scored in the 30th minute or 31st or something like that, but it was a bit of a slog, man. We're still trying to figure out what we do without De Bruyne. We just played Wednesday night in Athens, then to turn around and play Saturday night in Manchester is a little bit tough. But got the job done. Thank God for Rodri and Phil Foden and any one of this. I mean, we played this entire match without any substitutions. So
wow.
it was just one of those games. We have those a lot, honestly, where either we're in control or we should be in control, and then the match keeps ticking on, and we're like, okay, maybe let's get some guys out of here, huh? Maybe let's protect some people, and Pep just won't. So it was tough, but it's a big 3 points. I think everyone expects Newcastle to be there or thereabouts in the top 4. So big 3 points at home, and we get a week off now.
Yeah, I was gonna say now this is perfect. It sets up perfect. Now we have 7 days, or as of time of recording, about 7 days from exactly this point of recording. We'll be getting our match underway. So we get the champions of the the whole entire world on full rest, albeit the Kevin De Bruyne injury does. I mean, it really doesn't give us any chance in hell because we're not going to come anywhere near you. But how big, how massive of an injury hit is that to City? And this will lead into my next question. I guess you can sum up, this is a two-parted question, the De Bruyne injury and how has that changed City's summer? And, as we look, I think at the time of recording, we have about 11 days until the window shuts.
Right.
How is that going to affect City's transfer window coming down the stretch here?
So first of all, on Kev, he's irreplaceable, right?
Yeah.
He's arguably the best central midfielder the league's ever seen. That'll piss off traditionalists because Gerrard, Lampard, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, I'm biased, but Kevin does stuff that neither one of those guys could do. I just don't think you can replace him. So far, we haven't been able to. It's only been a week, right, since the injury or the re-injury, which I think a lot of us kind of saw coming. We rushed him back. He was supposed to be out 2 to 3 months from the Champions League final, and he was back in the Community Shield. So he was at least, 3 weeks early.
Yeah, right.
Um, but yeah, it's he's irreplaceable in terms of who we have in the squad right now. I think what we're all hoping is, um, at least with who we have, we'll find out some sort of system, or Pep will find out some sort of system that'll get us by while he's gone. Pep's one of those guys that he'll figure out something new every season
Mhm.
to get the best out of who he has. So I think right now we've been using Julian Alvarez kind of as a traditional 10, and we've been playing with Grealish and Foden out wide, and then Rodri and Kovacic behind them. So kind of just reverting to a 4-2-3-1. But there's no telling. That could change a bunch between now and by the time Kevin's fit again.
Yeah.
In terms of the transfer window, I don't know. I really have no idea now because we were in for Paqueta, and then apparently he's a naughty boy
Yeah.
and was doing some gamblings.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So that deal's kind of out the window. That would have been perfect, I think, with De Bruyne going down. We would have had somebody that could have played in the middle next to Foden, maybe, and been creative and provided some sauce in the team. We're also in for Jeremy Doku, it looks like, who's a Belgian winger that plays in France. He's like 20, 21 years old. Definitely a project player, but that's not one of those ones that's going to come in and replace Kevin De Bruyne right away.
Yeah. Right.
My guess would be, and this is just a gut feeling, is we don't go for anyone to replace De Bruyne. And if we do, it's going to be out of left field, last day of the window, and we're going to throw a ton of cash at something. Like we go throw a ton of money at like Florian Wirtz or something like that.
Yeah.
But that'd be the profile we'd be looking at, right? But as of right now, man, I don't know. I just can't see us doing anything because it's so late in the window. Teams always are kind of pains in the ass to deal with us in terms of negotiations because they know we have money. So it's never just cut and dry.
Yeah.
I think internally a lot of us are hoping that this De Bruyne injury means we see guys that you're pretty familiar with. I hope, like,
Yeah.
I think we see. I think James McAtee might benefit
No.
from this.
No. That
I
was going to be
know.
my next question.
I was going to ask you guys about that
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
McAtee and Doyle, what is going on?
Honestly, I have no idea.
I thought we had sold Doyle to you already, and then I looked at it last night and I was like, wait, he's still on our
No,
books.
no. So the rumor is, and I hate these. You don't know what you can believe.
Right.
So obviously, McAtee and Doyle had absolute great seasons for United last season.
Yep.
Helped us push promotion. Apparently, Tommy Doyle was sat in the stands at Bramall Lane last week watching us lose to Palace 1-0. Apparently, he desperately wants to come back to United. We did just get a couple of midfielders in. We got Gustavo Hamer from Coventry City. We got Souza. I would like him to personally come back, and I think it's held up where City rate him money wise.
Could
And
be.
it's like I think that's the biggest sticking point because it's rumored he wants. I think he's like wanted for about 10 million.
Okay.
And I mean, I think there's a couple other teams that are in for him. I would like to have him back. I would also love to have McAtee back.
I bet.
I think McAtee. I mean, even if it's on a loan, we're not going to be able to afford him. But honestly,
Right.
if like you alluded to, if you're not going to fill the role, McAtee, he's got some run in your preseason games this year. They call him the Salford Silva or no, that's Foden. Who am I thinking of? They're calling him something Silva. It's his nickname as well. And
it's Salford. Foden,
yeah.
Stockport, Iniesta.
Yeah. It's Salford. Yeah, I was right with the Salford Silva. And it's like he can fit into City side, and then I see De Bruyne go down, and it's like there's no way we're getting McAtee back. But he'd probably be the player that I would if I gun to my head and I had to choose one, I would want McAtee because I think he gives us that extra, link up play that we're missing because we look so bad up front. We can't link to the strikers. So only time will tell. If we can get them both back, it definitely bolsters our team, and it probably gives us a shot at staying up. But I don't know what's going on. It's like the Tommy Doyles were hot over the beginning of the summer, then they kind
Yep.
of flamed out, and now over the last 3 days, they've kind of came back up, and it's like, what are we gonna do?
Yeah,
To be honest with you, I have no idea what's gonna happen.
we were debating this at the pub yesterday, actually. Excuse me. Weirdly enough, because we were just talking about guys that because we still have a number of guys that we would like to get out, right? Just mostly just for finances. One guy's kind of just a thorn. He's a cancer in the locker room. So like we're still trying to get rid of Cancelo. He's got to go. I don't think there's any redemption arc for him.
Yeah.
But that looks like Barcelona is going to make that happen. Laporte, no idea. Looks like that's going to be somewhere in Saudi Arabia, even though I thought Aston Villa or Spurs probably should have done something about that, but whatever. But then we were talking about McAtee and Doyle, and we were debating who we thought you guys would want more. And I was like, one of my buddies was saying he thought McAtee because McAtee's more of a lightning rod.
Yeah.
And I thought Doyle because I thought maybe, to me, Doyle seems like a metronome. And I thought maybe that control in midfield for you guys might help a little bit in your first season back, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just been a weird one because we couldn't believe Doyle wasn't gone yet. I think we want, not that we don't want Doyle at the club. I mean, he's as blue-blooded as you can be in terms of City players. I mean, he's actual royalty.
And it's one of those deals where, like, I see McAtee having more of a chance to get in the City side than Doyle ever will.
Yeah.
I don't think Doyle ever gets in the side. And I'm like,
Nope.
if City want to trim the fat a little bit, maybe give a discounted rate to United, and maybe we see if we can make something work. I mean, I take either one of them back, but I would much prefer McAtee.
I think Doyle ends up getting done with. My guess is just because we've seen a few of these deals in the past where we're selling out younger players. My guess is the Doyle deal gets done, the fee goes down, but we tack on a ton of add-ons.
Yeah,
and then so we might sell them if it's 10 right now, we sell them for like 6 or 8. But then if you guys survive, I bet you there's a payment on top of that, and then we'll put on like a sell-on clause, a buyback clause. Like we'll throw a bunch of stuff on there. McAtee, if De Bruyne wouldn't have gotten injured and this Paqueta deal wouldn't have fallen through, I would have said he was going to get loaned out again somewhere. But Pep's been a few times. He said like I don't see McAtee's not leaving. So I think now he stays, which I'm fired up about because I think you give him a chance to kind of follow the Phil Foden arc. Baller.
Yeah, he can be if he stays at City and develops over the next few years. That's who I almost pair him to is McAtee and Foden could be the same, could be virtually the same player. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, Doyle was almost more of like a cult hero because he sealed the goal against Blackburn to put us into the semifinal. And honestly, if we do get Doyle and we buy him, he fits better in he plays right now. I think he's a championship fringe Premier League player. But I think he would set up well in our team if we were to go back down, because that's what I've always wanted us to do, buy for eventually going back up or going back down, because I don't really see any chance of us staying up this season.
Okay.
So build, in my eyes, just build for the future.
Yeah. It's kind of like what Norwich has done, right? Where they constantly yo-yo, but it seems like every time they come up, they hold on to a few of them.
Yeah.
And they go back down.
And that's one thing. I don't want to be a yo-yo club.
Right.
But, because look at Norwich. Norwich are probably going to be in the championship for a couple more years because it's almost like they hit the reset button over the summer and they're going to be down. Like they had a terrible season last year and they're like, well, screw it. We're not going back up. So we might hit the reset button,
right,
spend a couple of seasons down here, and then go again in, probably 3 to 5 years. But it certainly makes for an interesting life being a United supporter and not knowing what the hell we're going to do.
Been there, done that, brother.
Yeah, right.
Before we won the lottery, it was not fun.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was. Yeah, It definitely is. It makes for a very interesting life.
Yeah.
It's never a dull moment
Yeah.
being a supporter of a team that is not known for winning. And usually, if we do go up, we're gonna get our heads kicked in, and we're gonna go back down. So, I mean, you got to look at it. You got to look at it. You know, I've not my red and white glasses. You've got to
Right.
look through. It is that's where life is right now, and it's like, okay, we're not good enough to stay in the league with so our two best players a week before the season started, and it's like, okay, just
Yeah,
relegate us now.
that's a wild move.
Yeah, I mean, it was. It's honestly better in for us because they were on a free. They were both going to leave next year if we get
I
relegated. They
gotcha.
were on the free. That's why we cashed in right now. Everybody's upset. Blah blah blah. It's like, well, we profited off of them, so don't really honestly worry about it.
Yeah, 30 million in for that, huh? That's not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. It's not bad.
Hmm.
I mean, we sold Sander Berg to Burnley, one of our
Yep.
relegation rivals. I don't think that was the smartest idea, but hey, it is what it is. Um,
Can't resist Vincent Company, bro.
I mean, he paid out. I mean, I'm curious to see where JJ Watt doesn't have that deep of pockets. I'm curious to see where Burnley's getting all their cash to pay for James Trafford from Man City for 20 million. Never
It's
never even kicked a ball in the second division. He was playing with
it's
Bolton last year. It's
it's their
amazing.
actual owner has buku
Man,
cash.
man, I am very envious of that because our owner must be the
Yeah.
most broke prince in all of Saudi Arabia. I don't know how that happened, but hey, it is what it is.
Man, James Trafford, he just tiny tangent. I know he hasn't played in this division yet.
Yeah.
There was talk before we sold him and some of this Moreno dust started kicking up.
Mhm.
There was talk that like maybe he becomes our number 2. That's how highly he was rated at
Yeah.
City. And that's why we have a buyback clause on him.
Yeah. Oh,
Is
yeah.
if he pops off and Ederson's, when he gets a little bit older,
Yeah.
or Moreno decides to leave because he's 30 already, he's going to want to finish up as a 1 somewhere. I don't know. I could see us triggering that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you'd almost be stupid if he does
Right.
if he does come off and you don't trigger that buyback clause.
Yep.
All right, so we all know who the ones to watch for City are, so we're not even going to get into that. But yeah, I mean, just Holland, Foden.
Yep.
You could even see Ederson. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Costco Gvardiol.
yeah. I mean, we're gonna get destroyed. I mean, there's no way. There's no two ways about this one. So I will ask you give me your honest thoughts in this match next Sunday and give me a score prediction. You could say 7-0 because I'm leaning towards a high score line as well.
Okay. We're maybe the most pessimistic City show out there. Like there's a few City shows out there.
Mhm.
We're definitely not the biggest. We do all right, but I'm pretty pessimistic most of the time just because I've been damaged by sports so much in my life, including this team.
Yeah.
And it's tough to predict a starting 11 right now because no one quite knows.
Yeah.
Pep's still trying to figure that out. He has a whole week to plan though. Let me look. So you guys play. It'll be 5 at the back. It'll be like a 5-4-1. I'm
Yeah.
guessing.
Probably. Yeah. We'll
Yeah.
probably play 11 at the back.
Yeah. So my guess is you'll have Holland and Alvarez in there. All right, Ederson. I don't think unless Stones is fit, we'll say Stones is back and Diaz is back. So we'll say Ederson, Akanji, Diaz, and then one of Ake or Gvardiol, Rodri and Stones. Cole Palmer,
Ooh.
Foden, Alvarez,
Yeah.
Grealish, Holland is my guess.
My God.
Is my guess of how we go. That
Oh,
Kovacic could be in there instead of Stones, or Palmer is another option.
you could rotate the squad too and probably put the youth team out there and still beat us.
Well, let me see. let me see who we got after that. because I can't pay attention that far in the future, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right. I mean,
Um,
it's tough to call a week out.
well, I got to see if we have a midweek game after that because let's see, City. No, okay, so we have another week off. Nice.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course you do. To be the
So yeah,
strongest side in the
we'll probably go full strength.
Oh yeah,
But knowing us, like you said, this could be 5-0, or this could be a banana skin for us where we just completely don't show up. And because we've been kind of hit, this sounds crazy, but we've been kind of hit and miss already this season.
yeah,
Um, Hammered Burnley, Sevilla was tricky, Newcastle was tricky. Um, I don't know. I think it's probably like a 3-1, 4-1 if we play right. If we don't, I mean, this could be just an annoying like 1-0,
yeah,
1-1 type situation because
yeah,
we've been known to just lay eggs against teams that we should kind of steamroll.
yeah,
Um, I think we win, but I wouldn't be shocked if Pep tinkers too much or we just without De Bruyne we just struggle breaking down the lowest of blocks and creating anything that's solid. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's one of those. I mean, there's no way about it. I don't see anything but a City win. I don't even think we score. I think I might take the over under on shots on
Okay.
target on Sunday and take probably 1-0. Because that's all I think we had in the FA Cup semifinal.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think it's either 3-4-0. I mean, I just think it's one of those you get one and then it's kind of the levee breaks, and then
Yeah.
it's just about how many and by who. I mean,
Right.
Holland probably bangs a couple in. I mean, although we did, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, in that FA Cup semifinal, we did, put the clamps, so to
Yep.
speak, on Holland. I mean, we
Yep.
didn't, and I was very surprised at how we defended him and how very well we did defend him. So I mean, it certainly, I mean, it is a league game, and crazier things could happen. It could be
Yeah.
a low score line. It could be a 1-0, 2-0, City win. But I mean, I give us virtually no chance at even having a sniff. But yeah,
What's the thing? You guys have enough big uglies back there that can kind of get litter around Holland's size.
yeah,
I think he struggles with that sometimes when he's got to deal with teams like Sheffield that have three bigger center backs that
yeah,
he has to try to maneuver around. Space disappears pretty quick, and he can't find those little pockets where he can bully somebody.
mhm,
So it's I don't know. It's we struggle against low block teams when we don't have De Bruyne. We don't have Mahrez anymore. He was kind of a low block specialist.
yeah,
Um, if Bernardo Silva's out there, maybe that would help. But I don't know. It's gonna be a weird one.
yeah. It and like you said, a week to build this one up, and United's not used to a week between games. It's weird being
Right.
back in the Prem. We play every week instead of
Yeah.
playing every 3 or 4 days. So it certainly should be interesting. The last question I will ask you before we get out of here:
Hmm.
pre-match, during the match, and post-match beverage. What's your match day beverage of choice?
Let's see. What time is this one? This one's at like 8 a.m. my
Yeah,
time. Um,
on a
so
Sunday too, not able to drink at the bars. At least over
mm,
here, yeah, we got to wait till 10 a.m. So it's like,
well,
we got to wait an hour.
that's what the law is here
Yeah,
also. Um, but if you're in certain supporters clubs and you swing a good deal with the bar you're at, and maybe that bar has like a back pub
yeah,
like ours does with blacked out windows that they can kind of just lock all the
perfect,
doors.
perfect.
Sometimes it doesn't matter even if it's a 6 a.m. match.
Yeah,
So what I'll do that day, I'll probably have like 2 or 3 cups of coffee before I leave the house, just because
hmm,
I'm a fiend.
yeah,
Um, that day, I'll either have like an Irish coffee to start, or I might just get right on the beers. it's too hot right now for Guinness. Normally that's my go-to.
Yeah.
But it's 110 here in
Yeah.
Dallas, so that's a rough one. I don't know, maybe like high noons or like a Yingling or Miller
Oh,
Lite or something like that.
yeah. Okay. Something
After the
that's
match, it always depends.
yeah. Start ripping shots, and it goes
That's so that
sideways from there.
yeah, so that we usually save shots for like if we win a final or if like when we win the league, we do shots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They make these like sky blue shots for us there.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah. They call them blue moon shots. I couldn't tell you what's in them. They taste like Windex, but hey, gets the job done, brother. Really, really
Yeah.
speeds things up.
Exactly. Really gets the wheels going.
Yeah. Really
speeds it up.
lubes the gears.
Yeah. But yeah, I think we're gonna get out of here. Joey, where can the people find the new Noisy Neighbor podcast on the interwebs?
So on Twitter, it's at Noisy Pod. Pretty easy. Give us a follow. You wouldn't be if people just wanted to listen to the show. Noisy Neighbors podcast. It's on everything: Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Amazon, like literally everything.
Yeah.
We have a YouTube channel. We do like live call-in shows there. We also do live podcasts over there sometimes. Just search Noisy Neighbors. Yeah, that's about it, really. Sometimes I screw around on Twitch. I just game over there, like on Noisy Pod's Twitch channel. Also, our call-in shows and our live shows go to our Twitch channel, so that's Noisy Pod also. But yeah, if I mean, we welcome everybody, really. Aside from Rags, which is United fans, or Manchester United fans. Like I know we've got a few Arsenal fans that listen to us that are over in London. So yeah, some of your folks wanted to check us out. Bring it on. We don't discriminate. We welcome everybody. We're the least serious city podcast around.
Yeah.
Just know. Don't come for analysis. Come for dumb jokes.
Yeah, right. I mean, you just got to keep it lighthearted, man. It's all good. But, yeah. So, if you guys want to check out, obviously, if you're watching this video, you found our YouTube channel, Red Half Sheffield, podcast at Red Half of Sheffield on Twitter or X or whatever it is. And until next Sunday when we get our heads kicked in by City, probably 3 or 4-0, I'm going to say up the Blaze.